Selling your own art at conventions. This is something I got to experience for the first time this year when exhibiting at Dokomi. Whenever you do something for the first time, you tend to learn a lot. In today's video, I would like to talk about this experience and what I learned from it. So whether you're interested in exhibiting yourself as an artist, or you just like hearing about conventions or ordering products maybe for your shop, this video should be insightful to you. Now let's get started. What I'll do throughout this video is give you a general overview of how this can apply and then show you the example using Dokomi and my own experience. Along the way, I show the process of drawing an illustration for a Genshin Impact stamp rally I was part of at the Dokomi event. When preparing for an event, it's important to gather all relevant information. You need to know when and where the event takes place, how you'll get there, whether you'll need to get a place to stay, and what you can sell. Some events restrict the amount of fan art you can sell, while others prohibit it entirely. You also need to familiarize yourself with general guidelines for exhibitors. Information about Dokomi was easy to find on the Dokomi site, when it would take place, how you could get there, as well as the guidelines for exhibitors. I determined going by train would be nice since it doesn't have as much of an environmental impact. Additionally, I don't have a license since I don't want to own a car or use one, and my sister, who would be at the event with me and able to drive a car, would only be there from Saturday, not on Friday when the event starts, so we determined this would be a good option. There were no guidelines about not drawing fan art as well, which was good for me as I was planning to only sell fan art pretty much. It's what I draw mostly. I also used Airbnb to find a place for me and my sister to sleep at. Luckily, there were train tickets for Düsseldorf, where the event took place, included in the exhibitor tickets, and the train was really close to our flat. It also arrived like every 5 minutes, which was great. It's essential to know when the application phase begins and what requirements you need to fulfill to apply for a table at the event. The reason I even got interested in exhibiting at Dokomi was because I was there as a visitor the year before. I looked at the Dokomi website, which showed the time applications would open. I then made sure I would check the site to apply when the applications opened, and that's what I did. I applied for an artist table in Hall 3, and I actually didn't get a spot. The only reason I exhibited at Dokomi was because I asked someone who got a booth in Hall 1, the exhibitor hall, to share a table with. This was more expensive than a table in Hall 3, but since I really wanted to get the table, I went with this option. It's actually a kind of crazy story. The Dokomi team told everyone they could ask others to share a booth with until the 28th of February, and I'm not sure why I'm like this, but I only realized on the 27th that I would really like to exhibit. So during the 27th and 28th, I contacted a lot of artists asking to share a table, which now that I look back at it wasn't a good approach at all for getting a table. Instead, slowly asking a few artists intentionally over time would have been much better, but since the deadline was coming up, I was stressed and just asked around as much as possible, since I felt like that would be the only way I may be able to get a spot. And like this, I also came into contact with the artist I would later on share a table with in the exhibitor hall. The Dokomi team let me know per mail that they accepted the other artist application for a booth in the exhibitor hall and that it would be possible to share that exhibitor table. Like this, I then asked the other artist, Blaumund, and I got to have a booth with her. Deciding what to sell involves considering various factors such as product options, creation methods, costs, environmental impact, and delivery times. It's essential to balance these factors to ensure timely and eco-friendly production. I wanted to go for environmentally friendly options, using biodegradable stickers and recycled paper for my prints. At first, I also thought about acrylic keychains, but I didn't go for this. Also, prints tend to bring in most profit. Stickers are okay, but keychains would lead to the least profit if you want to sell them at a reasonable price. For stickers and prints, you have many options for companies, even local, whereas for keychains, you have fewer companies producing them. Vograce is a commonly used company that produces all of these types of products and a lot more. I haven't tried them, but may do so in the future. I didn't order products from there since it's shipped from China. The delivery times take long, and I would only like to order from a place so far away if I place one really big order. Factors I took into account for the products and companies I chose would include the type, amount, and material of the products, as well as the shipping time. Since I was short on time, I contacted the company where I would get stickers from for one, as well as the one where I would get my prints from, and I had good experiences with their customer service, so I trusted them and decided to order from them. Speaking of which, for stickers, I got them at Sticker It. They offer many options for stickers, and I chose the biodegradable ones. I especially found it nice that I, for one, got sent design proofs and so on. I could really see that the company made sure I would get the stickers in the way I wanted them. To use fewer resources, I, for example, ordered my stickers in a special way. Instead of ordering each character separately, I created sheets where the characters were connected. Overall, this would lead to a big separate sticker. I then cut off the connecting lines myself. This order was very unique, and I was impressed by how the customer service made sure the stickers would turn out according to my wishes, which was amazing. The stickers themselves also have great quality, so overall, if you're looking to order your own stickers and would like to try out some environmentally friendly options, I can definitely recommend Stickerit. For prints, I went with recycled paper once using Hello Print, which also was a really good experience. The shipping also worked quicker than I had expected. Another company I used here was Wir machen Druck. The products from there also turned out good. Another thing I would point out here would be the conversion to CMYK. I had to convert my images to CMYK for both HelloPrint and Wir machen Druck, or at least this was recommended by the companies. This can be time consuming and you first have to figure out how this works best for your art. For Stickerit, this was not the case, which I appreciated a lot. Understanding the measurements of your table and planning your product display is important. You might want to include interactive elements like a gacha pull system. Consider the aesthetics and psychology of your display, ensuring it aligns with your art style and the emotions you want to evoke in viewers. Products like a tablecloth or a banner in general, as well as storage cube boxes, stands made of wood, glass or plastic and so on can be helpful. Since this was my first time exhibiting, I got to figure my table setup out completely from the start. As the first question, what can help you to set some guidelines for what to go for would be what is visually but also psychologically important to you, what your preferences are. Looking at aesthetics, maximalism or minimalism, materials of objects, paper, wood, plastic, glass and so on can help. Usually your own art already has an aesthetic and feeling to it. It makes sense that your whole table display aligns with this. Psychologically, you can also think about feelings you would associate with your art, how the viewer should feel when looking at your display. Should it be more calming or exciting, for example? Additionally, I myself find the environmental aspect in anything I order important as well. I would like to go for more minimalist options when possible and only order things that are necessary and as environmentally friendly as possible, for example. In general, as helpful advice, I watched a lot of Moyo Kaina's YouTube videos and like this, I got some inspiration for how I would like my setup to look. I took screenshots of booths I liked from her reviewing artist Ellie display videos, and like this I had ideas of what I would like to get for my own booth. Additionally, I joined the Dokomi Discord server and there I got to see what other artists' experiences were, which was helpful as well. I determined I would get a tablecloth and banner. For these I went for environmentally friendly options. Then I also used old cardboard boxes as gacha sticker boxes, but I discovered these were quite voluminous and would break easily. Taking a simple cotton bag would make more sense maybe, so I may try this instead in the future. For actually assembling all the products, I made some sketches of how I would set up the booth in the end, which was very helpful to determine where I would place what products. Before driving to the event, I also built the whole setup as a test once, which wasn't as fun as drawing it, but it was good to see that my sketches did indeed work out building wise. Also regarding storage cubes, if you've never built something with them, I can really recommend trying this at least once before your event so you have a hang of how to use them. Other than your table setup, bringing things like tape and scissors, for example, can also be very helpful, or using clamps to fix a banner somewhere. If you plan to sell at multiple conventions, getting reusable things you can fix with magnets, for example, may be a good choice. Also, you want to have a look at where you store products you haven't sold yet in general. Having space in the back to put things to store as well as bringing extra boxes, bags and so on for your products can be helpful. Bring enough cash and especially smaller change. Also, make sure you can offer multiple payment options like PayPal or card payments through a card reader. For card payments, I got a SumUp card reader on eBay prior to the convention. PayPal QR codes can also work, for example. For smaller change, I got cash before the convention and used a money bag that I would wear around my hip for the money. Like this, it would be easier for me to keep it safe. Consider the luggage you can bring and how to pack efficiently for the event. Since I was traveling by train, I couldn't bring unlimited luggage. I took 2 suitcases and a larger backpack to take with me on the train. My sister was there to help, bringing more things with her on the second day, which was helpful. It was quite a challenge to travel with 2 suitcases and I had to pack wisely to make sure I had everything for the first day with me. Double check that you have everything you need with you and your transportation arrangements overall, that they work out to ensure timely arrival. I checked everything was packed before leaving the house to make sure I didn't leave anything behind. With my transportation arrangements, my train got cancelled, so I took another train to Frankfurt and there I got picked by someone I found using the car service BlaBlaCar. When you arrive, it's time to set up your booth according to your plan. Make sure it's secure and accessible, with enough inventory in the back and display space at the front. I set up my booth following the sketches I made, but I had to improvise a bit with the print display. My banner didn't hold initially, but I borrowed clamps from my table partner to secure it. Using storage cubes to store inventory and keeping one of my suitcases in the back helped manage the space effectively. Engage with customers without being overbearing, be approachable, answer questions, and create a welcoming atmosphere. It's important to be open for conversation. Standing and waiting for customers was a bit boring at times. Having my sister there to chat with, organizing my display at the front or cutting uncut stickers helped pass the time while still being available to talk to customers. For multi-day events, consider what preparations you can make for the following day. Cutting stickers overnight worked well for me during the 3-day Docomi event. Note a given time for dismantling and plan accordingly. Consider dismantling non-essential parts in the final hours of the convention to save time. We had the evening and the next day to dismantle. However, our train arrived just 3 hours after the event ended, so we had to plan our dismantling process and packing times to ensure we caught our train on time. Ensure you have everything packed and check your transportation arrangements. Although our first train worked fine, the third one did not, so we called our father to pick us up from the Mainz train station as it was late at night already. Store unsold products in a way that makes them easy to take to the next event. I keep unsold products in boxes with fewer quantities of prints in a separate box and stickers in an album for easy access. Calculate your expenses and income to evaluate the financial success of the event. Adjust your pricing strategy for future events based on this evaluation. After calculating the costs and income from Docomi, I evaluated my financial performance and identified areas for improvement. In summary, my main takeaways from exhibiting at Docomi are to allow enough time for preparation, research thoroughly, and have backup plans in place. This video aimed to provide a general overview of my experience and insights. I plan to create more detailed videos about specific aspects of this journey, so stay tuned for more storytime content since I learned a lot from it and got to experience many new things. I hope you found this video helpful and I look forward to sharing more of my experiences with you. Feel free to check out my Patreon if you're interested in seeing the full screen recorded process of the illustration I drew in this video. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye!